1025 and 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chasing Big Joe, 1025, 1063 The Game. Chase McKay, Big Joe Dubin here on this Friday. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your day. Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. Good to see you last night at the Preds game.
Yeah, you had a nice crowd, people coming up to greet you. Did you sign some autographs?
Well, the Preds said, hey, can you stop before game time?
Yeah.
And
okay.
I probably got a couple hundred. And
I saw Sean Henry come over there and yell at you.
Well,
but then I saw him walk away with the picture. So
yeah, so it's one of those like, hey, we got a game going on. We understand what you're doing here. Do you mind? I was like, hey, we're all the same team.
Yeah.
So after signing all the autographs and taking all the pictures and signing my books, I was like, I need to go. Then I went upstairs and just kind of sat in the seat and cried.
Okay. I heard another fan talk your ear off and while you went to sit. So
yeah, they did. So I was trying to avoid them. So it was all good, man. It's Friday, brother.
It is Friday. Feeling good on this Friday. A little, been a little rainy, but I think we kind of needed that, so that's okay. Titans will head to Indianapolis. You'll hear from Nick Westbrook-Akine. Let me try again.
One more time
this morning. Nick Westbrook-Akine will join us this morning at 10 o'clock. We'll talk to him. Chris Sanders before that at 9:30, and then we'll get you some picks with Lee Sterling at 10:30 as we do every Friday.
Lee Sterling. Love that guy.
Yeah, for sure. But Predators win 5-1 in the preseason last night. They'll play again tonight, and that will do it for the preseason. And it's, as they say, live bullets on Tuesday as they take on the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Ready to go. Then home next Thursday against the Seattle Kraken.
The Kraken.
So that should be a lot of fun. So yesterday, and we'll get into plenty of Titans talk, a death, a legend passed away. Dick Butkus passed away yesterday. And my brother had a chance to meet him last summer, got an autograph, got his jersey, got it framed, and just talked about how gracious he was. And it's weird. They kind of remained in contact. I've heard Dick Butkus did this with a lot of people. So his death, I mean, it's just kind of those things, a part of the NFL passed away with him. A guy's an absolute legend. So I was thinking, what death of an athlete really affected you? I mean, and so for me, this sounds weird. And that's our question today. I want to hear from you on the text line or call in, whatever. When Lyle Alzado passed away, right, back in 92, that really bothered me because when I was playing football, I really looked up to him because he was insane. And then all came out with all the steroid use, all the stuff that he was doing, and you felt bad for him. But for some odd reason, when Lyle Alzado passed away, that really affected me. It's hard to put in words exactly why, but I thought the guy was just a terror on the NFL, on the football field. So I know a lot of people are sad that Dick Butkus passed away.
Yeah, I mean, mine's easy. Dale Earnhardt.
Where were you when that happened? What were you, 15?
I was 13. I was 13. So I was at home, and I was watching the race, as I always did.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to win it. But then I noticed, he's holding back because he wants Dale Jr. to win it, or Michael, either one of them.
Right.
They both were his cars. Michael was one of his best friends, and obviously Dale Jr. is his son. And so I noticed he kind of went into defense mode, and I'm thinking to myself, Dale's cool finishing third. He's won it, so he's cool finishing third. And really, he had the run, he had the car. He could have gone past him and won the race. And so the wreck happens, and I'm upset, but then I'm excited for Michael that he gets the win. And like everybody else, I'm thinking Dale's gonna get out and be pissed, and then he'll go to victory lane, and everything will be fine. And then it was weird because it was the first race for Fox, and so Mike Joy and Larry McReynolds and Darrell Waltrip are all out. I mean, you can just tell something's off, and so turn the T. I'm kind of it's the early days of. It's not the early days of the internet, but
different time.
Yeah, it was a different time. And so I'm checking on NASCAR.com to see anything because they had signed off, they were running late, so they had to sign off. And then we were going to my grandparents. I was staying at my grandparents for some reason because we had the next day off from school because it was President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
And get to my grandparents, and my mom goes in, and I'm unloading the car, and I walk in, and it's they knew how this was going to affect me.
Wow.
And she comes around, and she's just like, honey, Dale didn't make it. And I'm like, huh?
What?
Like, what do you mean?
Grandma with the breaking news.
Yeah, it was my mom. But I'm like, what do you mean Dale didn't make it? Like, he didn't make it, to Victory Lane? Like, he's mad? Like,
Yeah.
what? I mean, what do you mean? And then I walked in, and it's all over the TV. And, I was really upset. And I called my dad, and I was like, what is happening?
It still tremendously bothers people today,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. If he's your idol and that happens, I mean,
And he was. That was my hero.
Wow.
Dale Earnhardt. And it was like, as a lot of fans, that was their last race, that they watched.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot, all of a sudden a 26-year-old that was going into his second year in the Cup Series all of a sudden had to carry everybody on his shoulders and carry a company and,
Yeah.
all this stuff that came with the fact that his name was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And next week was the race in Rockingham, and he wrecked on the second or third lap.
Second, I think it was the second lap, and it was a bad
It
crash.
was. I was there. I mean, it was, and everybody just went silent. It
Yeah.
was something, man.
But then Steve Park, who drove for Dale Sr., on basically like tread, or like the inner liner of the tire, like
Right.
his tires were gone, won the race, and so that kind of didn't fix it, but it helped that one of his cars, and then a few weeks later at Atlanta, Kevin Harvick, who took over for Dale Sr., won for Richard Childress, and then Dale Jr. went back to Daytona in July and won that race. So that that's when it was like, okay, we can be happy, because Dale Jr. went back and kind of helped heal everybody with that. But that, I mean, to this day, like, it's still
right.
and you think about what if he had lived? What if he had won that race?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happened as a result of it that are really good for the sport from a safety standpoint. Nobody has died in a NASCAR race since then because of all the safety innovations that they've made with the cars. I mean, there was a crash a few years ago at Daytona with Ryan Newman that everybody thought that
Is that when he flipped like 70 times?
Yeah, and they had to cut him out of the car, and they brought the shield that they put over the car, and it was not good. And 2 days later, he walks out of the hospital with his daughters holding his hand.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I mean, there's been bad crashes in this, but the newer cars make it safer for the driver, but that was, still, and ironically, the Daytona 500 this year is on February 18th.
Is it really?
Yep.
The one that's coming up?
Yep.
Oh, wow, man.
So-
See, there you go.
But Dale Earnhardt for me. Easy.
That's it. I mean, there is just the Butkus thing. I mean, when Walter Payton passed away, people were, rightfully so upset. These guys become larger than life to us.
Yeah, I'm sure, like Jim in Springfield just said Thurman Munson. That'll be that'll be a big one.
Sean Henry, if you're listening, that's one that affected him because he was like 31 or
Is that a
32
plane crash? Yeah.
plane crash during a day off.
You're gonna get a lot of Kobe's. Kobe affected me. That was because I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like that's not supposed to happen.
Nope. Not at all. Yeah. God, I forgot about Kobe.
Yeah, I bet a lot of answers for Kobe.
Yeah.
Because that and Gianna, is that right? Gigi.
His daughter.
Yeah.
Well, there are 9 other people in there, right?
yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that. So all those, it's just that, it's life. We know that people are going to pass away, man. But people like Butkus and Dale Sr. always seem to be larger than life. And don't mean to bring it down, but it's just that
Sure.
you honor these people. because they affected you in some kind of a positive way in your life. And that's why the Alzado thing with me was just weird because I didn't know him. He was just, I don't know, was just a hell of a football player who was just insane.
Right.
And when it came out of all the steroids he was taking, all the growth hormones, that was really the first one that popped out with all the things that were going on. It was like, good Lord. So it was that's something else. But, yeah, Dick Butkus passed away at the age of 80 years old.
Absolute legend.
He
For
was.
sure.
I named the Butkus Award after him.
Yeah, I know.
There's no Dubin Award out there, and I haven't seen a McCabe Award yet, so still time.
This is a good one too, and one that you may not know, but David from Watertown says recency bias, but Bray Wyatt, the wrestler that he just passed away a couple months ago,
There you go.
36 years old. In our open, you hear the "We're Here." That is Bray Wyatt.
Where is he here?
That was his whole. He had a group called the Wyatt family that was like this cult, and whenever before they'd come out to the ring, they would do this video where he's holding a lantern, and he'd look at the camera and go, "Whatever city they're in, we're here."
Oh, that's awesome.
And then the music. would hit and come
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
So I tried to find a Nashville, we're here, but I couldn't. But that was his whole thing. But yeah, he passed away. He had been dealing with effects of COVID and had a pre-existing heart condition and thought he was through it, and then he had a heart attack and was done.
Oh, I got one here. Lane Frost, the bull rider.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I know
the
the
movie
name.
8 Seconds was about Luke Perry, but died riding a bull. I mean, he died what he would love to do, and so. Yeah, I mean, there's no wrong or right answer, just how they affect you in some way. And so
yeah, and I feel like, like Dick Butkus, 80 years old. So it's like different than a Dale Earnhardt or somebody, Kobe,
Yes.
like that's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm not trying to be insensitive, but
no, I get it.
But it's just like, I think the ones that were just unexpected,
Those hurt.
Those affect you.
I
even
totally
more.
agree with that. Yeah, and that's the deal with the young ones that out of the blue like that go on. But
Payne Stewart, that's a good one.
yeah, that was on my birthday, 1999.
That was sad.
I had to go down and interview his agent's family from Winchester. And I found them, and they said, yeah, come down. We want to talk about him. So I drove to Franklin County and interviewed his family that day. And the agent grew up with Phil Fulmer down in Franklin County. And I got to tell you, not to hijack the conversation, but it was – I don't think the parents had realized what had happened.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, can we get you anything to eat? You want something to drink? We made this for you.
They hadn't set in yet.
And they pull out like a 4-course meal, and I was like, hey, can we talk about your son? Like, yeah, what do you want to know about him? It was just, weird. And it's something you don't learn in journalism school. It's just compassion.
Wasn't the whole thing that they lost cabin pressure,
Yeah.
and then everybody just –
Yeah. I mean, this was like 3 hours after everything went down. We were in Franklin County. And then in Winchester talking to his parents.
So I forget, how did the plane go down?
Ran out of fuel.
And they just let it.
Yep, and it crashed somewhere up like in the Dakotas.
Right.
Because they scrambled jets.
Yeah, because, if it was in a populated area, you're going to have to.
They scrambled jets, and then there was nobody in the cockpit, and they just went down. I guess it was air pressure or whatever happened, and then it crashed in somewhere in the Dakotas.
Well, it seems like I remember reading that they like flew by and they could tell. They could tell what happened.
Nothing went on. That's still just a bizarre, all that. And that's when Payne Stewart had won the U.S. Open, and he told Mickelson, he beat Mickelson, and Mickelson was all upset, and Payne Stewart said, no, you're about to be a dad. You're about to get the greatest championship you can ever receive.
Right.
God, the Payne Stewart, I forgot all about that.
And, like, you think about the run that Tiger had and Mickelson, I mean, Payne Stewart, if Payne Stewart lives, like, how does that affect him?
Absolutely.
Like, going back to racing, Davey Allison.
Yeah.
If Davey Allison lives, I don't think Dale Earnhardt's a 7-time champion. I don't think Jeff Gordon's a 4-time champion.
You were so young on. I remember I was with, not to hijack it again, Red Barber's grandson was working where I was working at the time. I think that's his name. And he got the call that it had happened. The helicopter crash inside Talladega. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I got to go. I'm like, yeah.
Well, working with Liz for so many years, like I did. I mean, that hearing the stories of that day and all that.
I can only imagine.
And she did a few years ago. They did a really cool documentary on because they donated his heart,
right,
and saved a life.
She had to be young during that. I mean, that's then the next thing you know, you're
2 young kids and everything.
Then you're a widow. Just awful.
But yeah. So I was in. I do remember it because I was on vacation in Florida with my dad, and that he's a big NASCAR fan. That's why I was into it, and they that same year, that was a tough year for the sport because you had Davey Allison and then Alan Kawicki.
Right.
And Davey, I think Davey was going to win the championship that year, and Dale ended up winning it. But that was one. And then I was waiting for somebody to say this one in our area, but Steve McNair.
Yep.
Yep. That's obviously, we all remember that day.
Yep,
for sure.
yep.
So keep those coming, 615-737-1025. When we come back, I have a question for Big Joe
Oh, okay.
in regards to the Titans. We'll do that next. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
He knows Nashville sports.
And you've got Mike Vrabel in what feels like sort of a back against the wall game. They're at their best.
And he's not scared to tell it like it is.
They need to go on the road and win a game.
He is Outkick's Chad Withrow.
16 5-star players and 52 4-star players.
Withrow joins Stillman and Company every Friday at 5. Brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
They still have all of the talent.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and The Game Nashville app.
Family Leisure invites you to relax at home this fall with all our indoor products on sale now.
Family Leisure has theater seating, massage chairs, pool tables, shuffleboard tables, and game tables in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
Enjoy the movie theater experience in the safety and comfort of your own home with theater seating from Family Leisure. 3-piece sets start at only $9.99. Massage chairs are only $14.99 as well.
Well, I want to redo our game room with a pool table for me and an air hockey and foosball table for the kids, maybe even a ping pong table.
Family Leisure has 30 pool tables on display, hundreds in stock for immediate delivery. Pool tables start at $14.99 installed.
And don't forget the shovelboard tables, a game everyone can play.
Family Leisure has above ground pools in stock and ready for immediate installation.
And there's great sale prices on outdoor and wicker furniture. Huge selection still in stock. That's Family Leisure's Relax at Home sale.
At both huge locations, Antioch and Franklin.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
The Electronic Express 40th anniversary sale is going on now. Help us celebrate 40 years of service and save up to 40% throughout the entire store. This week, get a Hisense 65-inch 4K TV for only $399, or a stainless steel refrigerator only $499. Plus, get up to 60 months special financing on items like a top-load laundry pair, only $349 each, or an LG touchscreen laptop, just $799. Shop our 40th anniversary sale. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
Have you seen the selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches they now have at Genesis Diamonds? If not, prepare to be amazed.
If people really know the watch world, they come in and they're in shock. They're like, I cannot believe you have this selection here. They're able to see them, touch them, feel them.
Meet Genesis watch expert Charlie Rivers, who says over the past few years, Genesis buyers have scoured the world to build a collection of luxury pre-owned Rolexes, including all the hard-to-find models.
Daytonas, Pandas, Sky Dwellers, a huge selection of Submariners, Hulks, Kermits, anything that you could ever possibly want. We have every luxury pre-owned Rolex that we have here. We ensure that it's in pristine condition.
So come in today and find the timepiece of your dreams at Genesis. Or if you already own a Rolex and are looking to trade for a different model or even sell it, Genesis can help you get top dollar.
If you have a Rolex, definitely bring it in. I would love to see it and do a complimentary evaluation on it and see what we can do for you.
Genesis Diamonds, now with one of the largest selections of luxury pre-owned Rolexes in America. Green Hills and Cool Springs.
Every day we are live and local.
You need to give Ryan Tannehill a 2-year extension.
There haven't been too many coaching changes for the Predators.
And your source for Nashville sports.
I think that's what the Titans need.
Players who can score.
We are Nashville's best sports talk. 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show.
I could pull a better cartoon out of my ass. Hey, whoa! Wasn't that great, kids?
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. DJ Joe on the ones and twos over there.
Yeah, man. Welcome in. One of the greatest sports movies of all time. Six Pack. Kenny Rogers. You see it?
Yeah. A long time ago.
All right. Go watch it again. It's fantastic. It's so awful, it's fantastic.
I love those.
All right.
Like there are movies that are like, I put like Roadhouse in this category. Like Roadhouse is not a cinematic masterpiece,
Not at all,
by any means, but it's a great freaking movie.
It is. And see, you weren't part of the cable TV generation growing up because in the early 80s, HBO popped on the scene. So we all had HBO, and all these movies would just run constantly, like Fletch.
Yeah, I had I was the cable TV generation in the 90s where they had the cheater chip.
Yeah, there you go.
I remember that.
We had the boxes, and you could almost see Cinemax through the squirrely lines,
Yep.
and then your mom would come in the room, and you would turn it really fast and all that.
What was that? Nothing.
That was nothing at all. Remember the Simpsons episode where Homer gets free cable? It's a fantastic Simpsons episode.
So I started last night. Well, I've been watching like random episodes of The Simpsons, and finally I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just watch in order now. So I watched Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire, which is the first episode, the Christmas episode. And it's fantastic. Like the little things in that episode just make you laugh.
That's fantastic. And I told you, I met the writer of that episode last night.
That's so cool.
Downtown Nashville. She was in town for an art showing at the Omni, and there she was. And so to talk to her for a brief moment.
Was she a writer on the Tracy Ullman Show? Is that how she?
I don't know. She's married to she's married to a guy that went to MTSU who created Pee Wee's Playhouse. Did you know that? Cool. He created Pee Wee, and he also did Peter Gabriel's video Big Time.
Nice.
And I'm like, good Lord, all the stuff this guy's done. But those are,
that's a good one.
Great episode. All right, what's your question for me?
My question for you is, do you expect the Titans to win this weekend in Indianapolis?
Yes, I think they have no problem with the Colts. No problem at all.
You're that confident? I think based on what you've seen through 4 games.
Yeah, defense has no problem. They go out there and defense sets the tone. They get the play action working. Tannehill has a decent game. They get out of there, and I think they win like 31-13. The Colts aren't good.
The Colts aren't good either, but I mean, like, my problem is the inconsistency with the Titans, especially on offense.
Well, I think the Browns, I think the Browns got inside the Titans' head with the pass rush and the defense, and we can't do anything, and they got behind the 8 ball early and couldn't do anything going on. And look, go back to the Saints game. Tannehill was terrible, but some of those play calls were, if he would have connected, different ball game. Chargers game, they put points on the board. They came back, and so last week the Bengals. It's an offense that can do it. Just get the ball, put more Chris Moore in the game, get Spears out in space, do the play fakes with Derrick Henry, and roll. Have fun with it. Have fun, and I think they will.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see basically what I saw last week. You put that together 2 weeks in a row. Gives you more confidence going into London and taking on Baltimore. I would say right now I don't expect them to beat Baltimore, but I think I'm with you that they are certainly capable, more than capable, of going up to Indianapolis and getting a win. And they need to put together a solid performance on the road because we haven't seen that this year. The 2 road games have been awful.
Is London a home game technically?
Yes.
Okay.
They are considered the home team.
Okay. All right. Well, good. But there's a lot to play for. Get it to 3-2, then head overseas and take on a Baltimore team with you have a lot of confidence when you get over there, and they'll, and maybe come back 4-2 of the open week. Then you roll.
Yeah. So they'll take on Indy this weekend on the road. They'll head to London, be the home team. They have the off week, and then they return to Nashville as the Oilers for the first time.
Take on the Falcons. That place, Nissan Stadium, will be on another level that day. If they're 4-2 and they come back.
Oh, I agree. And did you notice too? I thought this was cool that at the end of the game against Cincinnati, they put up next home game, and it didn't say Titans. They had the Oilers, which was cool. So they will. My guess is they go all out with the field. Like, I think it's going to be really cool to walk in if the Oil Derrick is at the 50 and see that for the first time since 1998.
Now, all we need now, I know he won't do it, but if Vrabel comes out looking like Bum Phillips,
he's not going to wear the 10-gallon hat.
That place will lose its mind. I'm not kidding. Nissan Stadium will lose its mind. But it's going to be bad enough, or bad being good, when they come out with those beautiful Oilers jerseys. I think the Titans uniforms were awful. They come out in the Oilers jerseys, and if he comes out wearing a denim jacket and a cowboy hat, I'll go crazy. I will go crazy.
Okay, so that would get your attention because that's the Love You Blue that you remember. The Love You Blue. But do you think, and he's not going to do either one, but
No.
if he came out with the mustache and like the sweater vest and, the headset with one ear and kind of went with the Fisher look,
No.
don't you think that would get people's attention too?
Not at all. I think this is totally about the Houston Oilers.
Okay.
And when you think about the Houston Oilers, Jeff Fisher does not come to mind, even though he coached there for 2 seasons, 2.5 seasons.
Yeah, and then here. I mean,
It
he was
doesn't
the
come to
Oilers
mind.
coach for 4.5 years.
When I think of the Oilers, I go Bum Phillips. I don't even go Jerry Glanville. I go Bum Phillips. That's what. That's the look. He's the iconic coach. So if we can get Vrabel, who knows? I mean, he might have a sense. I don't know him, but he might have a sense of humor and come out and do that. It'd be even better if he did it in Houston, back in December. Come out that way.
Yeah.
And not in a way to make fun of Bum, but to honor him.
Sure.
You know.
And I would, and look, I know that Floyd would love this too, because Floyd spent a lot of time with the Houston Oilers before they moved here.
Sure did.
As a coach, as assistant general manager, and then finally the general manager, was obviously tasked with having to move the team here. But he was in the front office with that '93 squad that was so good that unfortunately lost to Buffalo. But I mean that team
lost to Buffalo. Then the next year they were good. And they lost to Joe Montana.
I thought after '93 they had to blow it up. And
no, the '92 season they lost to
92.
Buffalo.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't go by.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So '93 was when they were rolling. That was the baby gate year. David Williams had a baby. He missed a game. They suspended him. The Oilers were 1-4. Then they just go on a tear, and they go into the postseason rolling. And then Joe Montana, his first year with the Chiefs, they come into Houston, and the Oilers have all the momentum, and Montana beats them. And then Montana then go to Buffalo the next week, and Buffalo beats them and goes to the Super Bowl and they lose to the Cowboys for the.
So that's when the salary cap started. So
'94, yeah.
So they had to cut, they traded off Warren Moon. And,
Yep. All that happened.
Munchak retired.
And it was weird because I remember when they playing fantasy football. It was because you knew this Oiler team, and then run and shoot's gone, and then they go out and sign Wycheck. I'm like, why are they signing this tight end from the Redskins that just got cut? That's just odd. And then the whole H-back comes out that way, and the next
that
thing
worked
you know,
out.
Oh, heck yeah, it worked out. I still think Frank Wycheck should be in the Hall of Fame. I
do too.
Absolutely, Frank Wycheck should be in the Hall of Fame. And his numbers were fantastic. Now he's been passed now by Shannon Sharp and Tony Gonzalez and on and on and on. But at the time, and that's the point we lose with these guys. At the time they played, they were fantastic. And Wycheck was fantastic.
Answer this quickly.
Yep.
But when they wear the Oilers uniforms, who on the Titans should wear the white shoes? Because somebody's got to be white shoes.
Oh, Derrick Henry.
You think so?
Absolutely. Go with your best, most visible player.
But don't you think he might try and do something to honor Earl Campbell?
He might.
As the running
I could see that.
Yeah.
But if not, then you put in somebody else, maybe Spears.
Sure.
It's got to be white, yeah.
But somebody's got to wear white shoes. That would be
great point.
That would be awesome.
Maybe Chris Sanders.
Yeah, we'll talk to him coming up next, get his thoughts on this game against the Colts here on the Chase and Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
They combine hard-hitting journalism.
The Titans asked Kevin Byard to take a pay cut.
Strong-willed opinions.
There's hot takes and then there's weird takes. Yeah. This is a weird take.
And sometimes some old man takes.
I'm excited about it. So do I gyrate embarrassingly?
To create the perfect morning show, they are Robbie and Rex Road. Mornings from 6 to 9. Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Say Santa, a 60th birthday celebration for Maynard James Keenan. Featuring Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle. All 3 bands on stage together. April 10th, First Bank Amphitheater in Franklin, Tennessee. On sale this Friday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. Say Santa, featuring Primus, Pussifer, and A Perfect Circle, part of the Farm Bureau Insurance Concert Series.
Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville invites you to support Breast Cancer Awareness Month by donating to Breast Cancer in Action. BRA's mission is to empower breast cancer survivors physically and emotionally, by creating inclusive communities where all can grow in strength, resilience, and joy. Find it in your heart to donate by going to info@bragroups.org. Pella Windows and Doors would also like to thank their sponsors of their Putt for Pink Customer Appreciation event: Binks Lodge, the Nashville Predators, Apio Media, Little House Animal Hospital, Mid-10 Ford, and 102.5 The Game.
Let's see. That one. Wait, I didn't see this one.
We apologize. When you have as many microbrews on tap as we do, we know it can be hard to make a decision. Don't worry, we're patient.
Wow, let me see here.
Bar lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel. Incredible apps and salads, delectable burgers and wraps featuring local Tennessee whiskey and local brews on tap and live music 7 days a week. The decision is obvious. Bar lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard. It's perfect.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Give us a call on the phone line, sponsored by Wilson County Hyundai.
Yes, I'm looking for a friend of mine. Last name Jazz, first name Hugh.
615-737-1025.
Hugh Jazz. Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
It sure is. Every Friday, 9:30, Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver, joins us on the program. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5 The Game. Chris, what's up? How are you, my friend?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. How y'all doing over there, man?
Doing fantastic.
Had a good win, and we got a big game against David Liskin, so I'm excited. Ready to roll, baby.
Oh, that is a big one for you, for sure.
Yeah.
But with the Titans, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked Big Joe a few minutes ago. With the Titans and their performance against Cincinnati, going up to Indianapolis this weekend, do you expect them to win?
I do. I mean, the reason why I expect them to win because I think that the Tennessee Titans have their number. If you look at the last 5 games, I think the Tennessee Titans have won, if I'm sure. But I just think I just think that the Tennessee Titans are the better team. I mean, they got the better quarterback now. They got a better defense, and I just think that they're going to go out there with an attitude. And the thing about the whole situation, I love what Hooker said. He said we're locked and we're loaded. And when you have a guy that's saying they're locked and they're loaded, they're going down there and they're focused and they're going to go down there and win that game.
Mike Vrabel was asked earlier in the week about momentum and does momentum carry over game to game? And he's pretty much in the past always said, no, not really. Now, I think that confidence can carry over from game to game. But how do you look at that?
I mean, I look at his confidence. I mean, if you look at right now, at this moment, this day, you're looking at a Tennessee Titan that's confident in every phase of the game. I mean, look at the kicker. He's a confident guy. You look at the offensive line. The offensive line has gotten better. I'm not saying that they're there yet, but they're playing with a little bit of confidence. And now you have a defense that last week when they played against the Cincinnati Bengals, that was a confident defense. So if you have a confidence defense and you start to practice and then you get into the game against Indianapolis, in my opinion, I think it does carry over because you have a little pep in your step. You know, even though couple of weeks ago you lost to Cleveland, you got the bad taste out of your mouth. But at the end of the day, if you go into any situation, if it's a football game or going to your job, you feel confident about what you're doing. You believe in the scheme and you believe in and what they're doing, it does carry over to a game to where you can really, really be confident.
So you coach wide receivers, right, at NBA?
Absolutely.
What is the – and I ask you this because of I've been watching DeAndre Hopkins' downfield blocking is fantastic. How much emphasis do you put on downfield blocking for your receivers? Because I know you receivers don't like to block, but it's necessary.
Yeah. I mean, it is necessary because it's a team game, and I know it sounds like a coach talk. I'll never forget when I played with the Tennessee Titans /Oilers, and it was the last game of the season. We were playing the Buffalo Bills. We wasn't going to the playoffs, and it was snowing. And Les Steckel, my receiver coach, he thrived in blocking. We had to block every single play, every single game. So this game, I'm Mr. Chris, Mr. Cool Guy. And I'm running out there. I'm like, I ain't blocking nobody. We ain't going to the playoffs. It's snowing and we're going home. And Les Steckel, one of the nicest men you will ever meet, he called me on the phone. He was a Marine. He called me. He said, Chris, if you don't block, I'm going to come out there and I'm going to take you out myself. The reason why he said that is he took pride in it. It was a want-to. A lot of receivers don't block in the NFL, but that's what I love about Mike Vrabel. That's what I love about Tim Kelly. They take pride in it because the thing about it is, you better believe when you're catching a slam, when you're catching a hitch, when you're catching a deep ball, the offensive line in the back is blocking for you. So as a receiver, it's all a want-to. I mean, if I was scouting a guy, and he was a great wide receiver. He was a great route runner, but his attitude sucked when it came to blocking. That means it makes it about him as opposed to the team.
By the way, you guys won that game 28-17, so good job.
I know, yeah, and I didn't block a soul.
Reason I was watching a Dolphins game, and it's funny because Tyreek Hill doesn't like to block, and they were talking how when they were running play, he'll take a step and stand there, and they're like, why is he not blocking? And it was just then that way the defense can capitalize on that things like that.
Yeah, because the thing about it is if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm scouting the great offense, if I watch the body language of the wide receiver and he's not in an explosive stance, that's a run. So that just makes my job easy. Listen, if I'm scouting and I'm a scout in the NFL and I'm a scout in the college level, if I ever in my life see a guy just stand there and not block, and I don't know Tyreek Hill. I don't really know him as a person. I'm talking about the football guy. I'm not going to have him on my team because when the game's on the line and Derrick Henry has a run like a outside zone and I have to block the safety and I just stand there, I made it about me as opposed to the team. So I'm not having that.
You ever come down and do a crackback on a outside linebacker or anything? They're illegal now, but you ever do one of those?
Yes. Oh my Lord have mercy. I tried to do it against Ray Lewis, and he almost took my spleen out. So when it comes to blocking, I mean, I'm kind of strong in the gym, but when it comes to track backing on Ray Lewis or Greg Lloyd, you just like a New Edition, you have to count me out. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Yes.
You can miss me on that. Yeah.
Chris Sanders is with us here on Chase and Big Joe. And, it's not looking like Treylon Burks is going to be available again. It has not practiced Wednesday and Thursday. Sure. We're going to talk to Nick Westbrook-Akina coming up in a few minutes. I've been really impressed with him, Chris. Okay. And I know that, we had conversations in training camp of, where is he? Is he going to make it? Like, are there guys that are outperforming him? Yeah. But I think he has really stepped up as of late for the Titans and kind of made a role for himself.
Yeah. I mean, I was listening to the radio show, and the calls were coming in, and a lady called in this. She came and she bragged on NWI. She said, he's my favorite player, and she said this word, and this is very, very huge. She said, every game, he's reliable. I mean, that's huge. When you have a lady, I think she was 90-some years old, she's like, I love Westbrook.
Her name was Sally.
I love it. Sally, Miss Sally. I love Miss Sally. And for her to call in and say that, it just shows you that this guy's reliable. You can trust this guy. He's always in the right position. In each game, he always comes up with a big play. And the funny thing about the whole situation, but every single game, every single practice, he's always available, and your quarterback trusts you. That is the kind of cat that you want on your team.
Yeah, and with the offensive line, Chris, it's looking like Peter Skoronski is going to be back from the appendectomy. Yes. Nicholas Petit-Frere, your boy PT, he's back from the suspension. So they have options. Do you suspect that we're going to see both of those guys go in this week, or do you think that maybe Skoronski goes back in at left guard and they keep Chris Hubbard at right tackle? Because quite frankly, I think Chris Hubbard has played well enough to keep his job.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, the thing about it is I think the one cat that's kind of struggling is Dillard at the left tackle, but I think at the right tackle, I think Hubbard's been playing consistent. I mean, I know the whole offensive line has kind of struggled a little bit, but I think that he's been the bright spot of this whole offense. I mean, this whole offensive line. So, I mean, the good thing about the whole situation, they have a little bit of depth. I mean, even though, the offensive line struggled the past couple of weeks, they have a little depth. Skowronski's coming back. Different guys are coming back to actually help the offensive line. So this is a plus and a win-win for the Tennessee Titans.
Let me ask you this, Chris. It can get loud, inside a dome. You know this all too well. Can you remember a time when it got so loud and you're the visiting team in a place where you can't even hear whatever quarterback's calling the play in the huddle? Anything comes to mind?
Yeah, it does. We were playing in Memphis, and we're supposed to be the home team, and we come out. And Pittsburgh is the home team is booing us. I remember that. It was. You remember that? We're supposed to be the home team, and they're booing us, and it's loud. But just to kind of get to your point, when it's loud like that, I think the quarterback and the offensive line and the wide receiver just have to always be on point because you're not going to be able to hear each other. So the one thing that me, Steve McNair, and all the receivers did is we just communicated with sign language. We would have little signs with our hands or tap our helmet or touch our face mask to actually know what the play was called. Because when we were in the huddle, there was 2 plays called, and all we heard was check, 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 and he'll point at us. Then we knew the play that was run, even though it was so loud. So I think the Tennessee Titans are going to go into a loud environment. It's going to be loud, people screaming because they want to beat the Tennessee Titans. But what these guys are going to do, you're going to see a lot of face mask touching. You're going to see helmets touch. You're going to see shoulder pads to give the instruction on what play is going to be ran. So I think the Titans are going to be all right in that situation.
By the way, when y'all won that game versus the Steelers, on the opposing sideline that day was a young rookie out of Ohio State named Mike Vrabel.
Huh. Oh, man. God. Let me tell you something. I love what he's doing as a coach, but actually play with him at The Ohio State University. Man, I'm going to tell you something. This guy pays attention to details. He works hard in practice. And the one thing I love about him is how he overcomes adversity. He did it at Ohio State. He did it when he got in the league. And now he's in a position to where 2 weeks before they went through adversity, and he's always consistently getting these guys ready. He's one of the best head coaches in this league, and I'm so honored to play with him at Ohio State.
Were you honored to play with Dave Craig, too?
Oh, he had to. I did, but he looked terrible in his uniform. I mean, he just looked awful. I'm like, man, he had the 1-bar face mask. He had the shoulder pads that looked like linebacker pads. He had the big thigh pads. I mean,
well, hell, he was 60 when he was playing with you, so
No. 75.3. That's how old he was.
Oh man!
But hey, great quarterback, funny in the huddle. But just it was an honor to play with Dave Craig. I actually funny because I watched him growing up, and I actually in the same huddle with this guy that's 645 years old. So he's a pretty good guy.
What's funny is he was on the Derek Thomas had like 8 sacks in a game for the record. He sacked Dave Craig all those times. Into the game, Dave Craig comes back and they beat the Chiefs on a last-minute drive. So Dave Craig, one of the mighty great Tennessee Oilers players in history, alongside yourself.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. It was, Dave Craig was a great quarterback. I wish I could have played with him longer. I learned a lot about just his leadership and the expectation that he had, that he wanted the receivers to do. So, absolutely, great guy, but great player also.
Well, Chris, enjoyed it as always. Good luck tonight against Lipscomb. I know that that'll be a tough one over there on West End at NBA, but we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you. Hey, you coming to the game?
I'm actually going out of town.
Just tell him yes.
Oh,
I know.
I
don't want to lie to him. I mean, Chris is my
He'll
friend.
be there,
I'm not
Chris.
gonna lie to him.
At least you can say, Chris, I'm coming to the game, and then I got lost in traffic, and I forgot where to.
Yep. Well, I could do that.
He's learning, man. We got him.
I'll work on it. I'll get to one before the year's out.
Man, appreciate you.
You too, Chris. Have a good weekend.
Appreciate you guys. Okay, bye-bye.
Chris Sanders, forever Titans wide receiver. You can also hear him on Sunday as a part of the pregame show with Robbie Stanley this week, who is in for Jared Stillman and Derek Mason. It's presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment and Beast Unleash, and will be at Twin Peaks in Madison, 9:30 to 11:30 on Sunday.
Talk about that 97 team that played down in Memphis. That draft class, thank God for Derek Mason. If Derek Mason's not in there, none of these guys did anything really good. Derek Mason stood out.
Was
4th round, 98th pick.
Was Joey Kent in that
He
draft
was.
class too?
Did nothing for the team. Kenny Holmes was okay, but
yeah, he was all right.
I mean, that's a first.
I mean,
round
that you had a
pick.
4th-round pick that turned out to be one of the best players in franchise history.
Yeah, so that's not all too often. It's a first or second round pick, but
yeah,
well
for sure,
done.
for sure.
Faux show.
Continue the discussion with the Titans, and do you expect the Titans to win this weekend in Indianapolis? 615-737-1025. It's Chase and Big Joe. 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Hey, it's Pete Weber. Coming up tonight, join Hal Gill and I as the Predators close out the preseason in Carolina. Our coverage begins at 5 o'clock.
Your home for Smashville is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Hey everyone, this is Nick Frazier here to tell you about my favorite sport booking casino, and that's BetUS.com. Football is back, and that means it's time to lay down your bets. I only endorse one sport booking casino, and that's BetUS.com. They're celebrating their 30th year of sports betting service with a special offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. That's right, up to 30 risk-free bets. It's called Bet Protect. BetUS.com also offers a 125% sign-up bonus, a massive 200% crypto sign-up bonus, and a 250% casino bonus. The game always gets more exciting with a bet, but you can take it to a whole nother level at BetUS.com's live in-game betting. Take advantage of their 30th year offer, up to 30 risk-free bets. Get Bet Protect. Get started today by visiting BetUS.com or at 1-800-MyBetUS to learn more. That's 1-800-MyBetUS. BetUS.com sport booking casino, where the game begins.
The holidays are a time of celebration and Thanksgiving. It's a time to host friends and family in your home to enjoy good food and good times. The last thing you need is an unexpected issue. If you're planning a gathering this season, take a few minutes to bring out the home experts from Lee Company. For heating, plumbing, electrical, and all your home improvement needs, Lee Company has you covered. Visit LeeCompany.com and schedule your first appointment online. Lee Company, all you need.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. From compact track loaders to the world's #1 selling compact excavator, the Kubota construction lineup features durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all and do it right. Visit your local Kubota dealer today. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Florida from Gainesville. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Coverage starts at 1:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
This one's from Big Joe on the go. Yeah. He says my dad had to come a day late to our vacation, so we gave him the wrong room number as a joke. He showed up to the other room, went in, ate some food, and fell asleep. They call the cops on him. People call the cops on him. There's a strange dude in their room. That was vacation.
Oh, that's good.
That's good
Jimmy
times
Fallon.
right there.
So how many times has he read your tweets?
I think 5.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're up to 5 now. It's always fun.
You're like
you
a
never
regular.
know. Because you never know. That pops in. Then, I'm usually asleep. Then my phone goes crazy. The first time it did it, it went crazy. He was on before he took over, and he did it. And then it hit like 11:30. Then like 1:30 in the morning, it hit again. I'm like, what's going on here? And they showed on the West Coast.
Yeah.
And I was like, there are more people that I know were doing that. So it was a lot of fun.
Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Big news coming down. My credit score went up a point.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I just got it, man. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Crane. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.
I just got all excited that there was like big breaking
No, I did.
news.
I just got an email. Went up a point. Yay.
Nice.
Hey, man.
Don't you get like points taken away if you check it too often?
It says that, it just said if you don't, this is okay. You won't get deducted if you check it. I'm like, I'll go take a chance.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll go and take a chance. And I was like, right. I said, red light, green light. You get stop at a red light sometimes. You just got to wait your time, and that green light's going to come.
Is that Bill Clinton?
That's
Matthew
Clinton.
McConaughey?
Yeah, a little bit right there.
Okay, yeah. Meets there. Our question earlier, and not to bring it down on a Friday, but with Dick Butkus passing away, just an athlete's death that really affected you. 615-737-1025. Bruce has been waiting very patiently. Bruce, go ahead. What's up?
I think to understand this one, guys, I got to set the scene for you a little bit. So growing up in western Pennsylvania in the late 60s, early 70s, where I lived, there was one television station. So most nights were spent listening to the Pittsburgh Pirates on a transistor radio. And doing that, Roberto Clemente became my favorite player of all time. Following that year, I was 9 years old. I got to go see him play live. I watched him make a throw from right field to third base that was like nothing I'd ever seen. Then his last at bat of that season, he gets hit number 3,000, a picture of which I have hanging in my office. And then it was a Sunday that December. The local radio station had nothing on but a polka show, had it on in the background of my room, and they broke in saying that a plane he had been on went down and he was feared dead. And I can remember sitting down on my bed. I had NFL team name sheets, and I sat there and just cried, not really believing he was dead, that somehow he would live. He was too big of a hero to me to die, but of course he did die. And another part of that a lot of people don't know is Manny Sanguillen, who was the Pirates catcher, was supposed to be on the plane, and he got there late. And Roberto said, "We're not waiting, we're leaving," and he survived. And game one of the next season, Manny Sanguillen, who had been a catcher his entire career, tried to play right field to replace Roberto, and was the worst right fielder in history. But he was never the same again after missing that plane. And I guess as a 9-year-old, just turned 10, I guess, when he died, that was my first real touch with death with somebody that I thought was beyond death.
Wow, great call. Thanks, Bruce. Appreciate it.
Bruce, I'm reading this how Clemente I know he passed away in a plane crash, but
yeah, it was New Year's Eve, I think.
Insufficient number of flight personnel were missing. A flight engineer and a co-pilot were not there, and the plane was overloaded by 4,200 pounds. It crashed immediately after takeoff, December 31st, 1972, due to engine failure.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just and that's the thing, an idol like that.
Wasn't he going on like a mission trip or something?
He was.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's what I thought. And in baseball, the writers put him in the Hall of Fame the next year. They didn't make him wait, which was the right move.
Absolutely, it is.
So, but yeah, that's a good one. I think that again, it's the unexpected, like your heroes, like he's still playing at this point,
right?
In his career, and was obviously a fantastic player.
One here for Hank Gathers when he passed away in basketball back in 1990. So a young man who passed away, that was awful too. I remember that, and so these are all tragic. I mean, it's just anything like that's tragic. But we're obviously talking about the one started with Dick Butkus passing when he was 80 years old. I understand that. But he was such an iconic figure to so many people growing up that watched football in the 60s and 70s. And it was just the way he played. He would be – I was watching his highlight reel today. He would be banned from football had he played today. There's no way that would be allowed. I mean, he destroyed people.
Oh, yeah.
He destroyed people.
Well, there's a lot of guys that now, back in – it was a completely different era.
Yeah, right. It was. I mean, that was just it was tackling back there. So many times now I see guys going with their shoulder and don't wrap up. It drives me crazy. And guys they still do that with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to tackle him above the shoulder? Stop doing that.
I feel like Derrick Henry is one of he's probably on the short list of guys that, if he played in the 70s and those era, like
that's a great point.
He would have been fine. I think he would have been
That's
all
a
right.
great point. Yeah, absolutely. Because he's just that pound runner that just keeps going there and knocking you down. And I tell you, I do this all the time. I love running backs who look for contact. Derrick Henry looks for contact.
Yeah.
Doesn't run out of bounds.
No.
I remember
It's
Kiffin.
like he wants to carry half the team, half the D line with him.
Right. Was it Bryce Brown who played for the Vols in 2009? He ran out of bounds on a long run, and Lane Kiffin took him out of the game, didn't put him back in. And I remember Kiffin was asked, like, why'd you take him out? He's like, we teach our running backs that they're running backs. You
Yeah.
don't get out of bounds.
Yep.
You're not going to get hurt. You punish people. I was like, good for you, Lane. And, of course, Lane leaves in the middle of the night and goes to USC.
Yeah, you don't see it as much anymore, like coaches that are going to teach like the fundamentals. Like when Brian Snicker pulled Ronald Acuna Jr., you remember this? This was like 3 or 4 years ago. He didn't run it out at first.
Good.
He just started jogging, and
Good.
Snit went out, pulled him, and then I think they ended up losing the game. And after the game, he's doing his media availability, and they're like, "Hey, what happened with Ronald? Is he hurt?" And he goes, "No, he didn't run out at first, and that doesn't fly with me."
Yes. I love that.
And and he's done it. He's done it more than once, because there's times he's like loafed down the base path.
Yeah.
Goes and yanks him.
One of my favorite Murphy's my favorite Braves player, but another favorite player of mine was catcher with Ted Simmons. If you watch the Braves on TBS in the 80s, every time he'd ground out, he ran the first base like he was running the 100-meter dash in the Olympics. And they'd throw him out by 100 feet, but he ran so hard to first base. I'm like, that's how you do it, man. So I like that. Yeah.
You run it out. You never know. You never know.
We need to take a break. I need to run out of here in a minute. So
Yeah,
we need to take a break.
you can run out. Coming up
Thanks.
next, Nick Westbrook-Akina, Titans wide receiver, is going to join the program. We'll talk to him. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
Seriously, it's the same commercial every time.
All right.
Okay? There's 4 major points that we need to make.
Yes, sir.
Good customer service.
All right.
Good quality vehicles.
Check. Got it.
We've been in business since 1987.
87, right.
And we can finance anyone on any car.
Wow. A fiddle player? Any car? How's this? Franklin Motors. The choice is clear. Franklin Motors.
Your ride is here.
FranklinMotorsTN.com, or come on by for a test drive.
Blue Raider fans, your home for all the MTSU football and men's basketball action is on 93.3 Classic Hits and 95.1 Classic Hits in the borough. Catch the action all season long with Chip Walters on the call. Go Blue Raiders!
All of us at 102.5 and 106.3 The Game want to recognize our active military, veterans, first responders, and educators with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rockets rocked along, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave.
This is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Now, Your Game Center update.
This is Nick Frazier with your Game Center update. Last night, the Nashville Predators got a huge win at home versus the Carolina Hurricanes by a score of 5-1. Center Ryan O'Reilly recorded 4 points with 1 goal and 3 assists. Here was Ryan O'Reilly after the game.
Well, it feels good. Yeah, obviously, it's still preseason, but it's always nice to score, especially preseason has been great, and, we're, as a team trying to figure out the system, so it was nice to kind of, get a goal, but also see, as a group kind of, respond the right way and start to get, a grasp of it and generate more.
Tune in tonight as the Nashville Predators are back on the ice as they take on the Carolina Hurricanes again on the road at 6 p.m. You can listen to the game right here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
For more, follow us on Twitter at 1025 The Game or visit thegamenashville.com. Live from the Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical Studios. WPRT FM Pegram, WPUC HD2 Laverne. Broadcasting on Alexa.
I appreciate that.
And other smart speakers. 1025 and 1063.
And a score!
You can run different offenses.
The doors on the board. Off the field, on the field.
The Game.
A Cromwell Media Station.
Let me talk to you. Talking what's important to Nashville.
Sweet mother of God, what is the holdup?
This is the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
With Chase McCabe and Big Joe Dubin.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
We're here on 1025 and 1063 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Jason Big Joe Show, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Titans in action this weekend against the Indianapolis Colts. And one of the guys, JoJo, that we've talked about quite a bit lately is on the line with us, wide receiver Nick Westbrook-Akine. Nick, good morning. Thanks so much for doing this. How are you?
Good morning. Yeah, doing well. Having a good day. Hopefully y'all are doing the same.
So the Colts this weekend, but let's go back to last weekend. What did that victory over Cincinnati do for not only the confidence of the football team, but you all on the offensive side of the ball? Because very few mistakes, and you were able to move the ball down the field quite efficiently.
Yeah, that was big. Something that we've been wanting to do now since the start of the season, obviously. It was good to get a performance out there like that and hopefully build momentum going into this week. But if anything, really, it's just shown, what we're capable of. And set a standard for us to live up to for the rest of the season.
And then how about for you personally? I mean, we've seen your number get called a couple of times already in the end zone. You've been one of those guys that's kind of been, viewed as a steady Eddie, always there when needed. But how do you feel like your game has progressed early on in this season?
Just, trying to take advantage of the opportunities that are in front of me. Whatever role that is, blocking, doing dirty work, whatever it is, just finding a way to be that guy that Ryan can rely on and this offense can rely on. So I've just enjoyed playing this season, kind of like a weight off my back, just kind of trying to play free, realizing I'm not playing for just myself. Playing for the audience of one.
Nick, how comfortable are you now in this offense with this team? I mean, you come in the league as an undrafted player. All the odds are stacked against you, and I just love the way you've been just so determined and now coming to your own. How comfortable are you now as a player and just with the league and everything else?
Yeah, it's definitely grown. I feel like I was kind of looking back this week, this game, and, yesterday at practice, just realizing where I was my rookie year. Obviously a lot of nervousness and, I feel like I was always trying to be perfect, and now it's just, I feel like I've kind of acclimated myself, understanding how this game is, how the league works, how the NFL is, and, you play your best when you're not really thinking and you're just going out there and playing, and I feel like that's been a big difference this year.
I know you've played in Indianapolis 4 times. You went to college in Indiana. Is it still special to go back to the state where you played college football and being this great success story and being an NFL player?
Yeah, I'm excited to go back to Indy. I've enjoyed playing in Lucas Oil. I was able to play there my senior year at college, had a big touchdown. Had one of my first touchdowns against Indy both times my second year here with the Titans. So I enjoy playing that team, and obviously I got, my wife is from Indiana, so I got a lot of family that are either still Colts fans or these like hybrid Titan Colt fans, and then some that have completely converted. So I like stirring the pot in the family too.
Talking to Nick Westbrook-Akine, Titans wide receivers. They take on the Colts this Sunday. So, in that receiver room, obviously a lot was made about DeAndre Hopkins coming here, choosing to sign with the Titans. What's it been like having him in the locker room and being able to just pick the brain of a guy that's likely going to be wearing a gold jacket one day?
Yeah, it's awesome. Having a guy like that, obviously he makes plays, and, he makes our job easier, when the defense has got to worry about him. It makes it easier for other receivers out there, and being able to, also gain from his experience and his knowledge playing in the league and watching the way he carries himself, watch the way he practices, trying to pick up on little things that he does. It's been awesome having him, and even Chris Moore too. It's been great having those free agent acquisitions this off season, because it's, I feel like it's elevated our room, and they've been great leaders leading us.
Nick, I got to ask, your first touchdown you scored in the NFL, do you still have the game ball? Please tell me you do.
Yeah, I still have it. I've got the first two, those two Colts ones. I've got the first one, and then my parents have got the second one.
What's it like when you, again, your story is so fantastic, undrafted, come to the league. When you look up there and you see that football, that game, for the first touchdown you score, what does that mean to you? What do you think about when you see that?
I mean, it was a dream, obviously, as a kid, just even, playing a snap in the NFL, let alone was the first dream, just to be able to say I played in the NFL, and, that was the next thing right there was, making a catch, and then it was, scoring a touchdown, and it, it was awesome at first, but I feel like, too, it kind of allowed me to realize, I'm good enough to be here. I've earned this spot, and I've also been gifted this opportunity, and to just continue to try to take advantage of it.
Nick Westbrook-Akine is with us. All right, so I have to ask you this. We see, with Tim Kelly's offense, there's definitely some creativity. Big Jeffrey Simmons goes in on offense. What was the conversation like on the sideline before that play, and even when Cincinnati called the timeout and he still goes in there?
I was out on the field, so I don't know what the sideline was like. Jeff's a good athlete, obviously, and that's why he's, one of the best, interior D linemen, just D lineman period in the league. And so, you try to get all your athletes out there on the field, and I think, obviously, that as a D coordinator, you got to be aware of where a guy like that is on the field.
But and also, I mean, Derek is a passer. We know what he can do running the football, but, I mean, he's kind of made a little bit of a name being able to throw the football.
Yeah, he coined it himself, young Peyton Manning. He's pretty efficient. I don't know what the stats are, but I would like to know, his completion percentage and how many of those end up being touchdowns too.
You see Derek running the ball and everything. How important, receivers, I played college ball. I had receivers, Nick, who the last thing they want to do was to block. But you guys do an excellent job of blocking downfield for the running backs. How important is blocking to what you guys do as the receivers?
Yeah, it's huge. I think, that's something that's been, preached to us, instilled in us as receivers since I've been here my rookie year. When you have a back as talented as Derek, and you got O-line that's also willing to block and do that dirty work and get open holes for them, when we're able to make those blocks at receiver, it can lead to some real big plays and some X plays and touchdowns. I think, you've seen that. I've seen it over the last 4 years of Derek breaking big ones, going 80, 90 yards, because we're able to cover up, everybody that we need, and then we trust Derek to make, one or two guys miss at the end of the day.
Nick, as you head to Indianapolis, and I know Vrabel was asked about this on Monday of, does momentum carry over from one game to another? And he doesn't really feel that way, but I feel like confidence does. So how do you carry all the good things you did against Cincinnati, carry that confidence, and then apply it to this weekend?
I think it starts, going to this week of practice, taking that confidence from the game and letting that be, lead into the preparation over this week, and then kind of letting that build to be able to then carry it onto Indy this week.
Well, Nick, appreciate the time today. Good luck against Indianapolis, and we'll talk again soon.
All righty, thanks.
That is Nick Westbrook-Akine, Titans wide receiver, joining us here on the program. And good chat with him because, I mean, you're just a fun guy, and you can tell that how he has developed, coming up through the ranks the last few years with the Titans, and now, I mean, he's a go-to guy for Ryan Tannehill.
Undrafted in the National Football League, these guys don't get enough credit. I just don't. I mean, you're the afterthought of the afterthought, and the fact that he made the team in a position of receiver is I love the story. I think it's great. Anytime a guy can do that, not get drafted, make an NFL roster, it's fantastic. And Titans got several of those guys who play their tails off.
Yeah, and I mean, we're all, this week we've been talking about, Kyle Phillips is available. Kyle Phillips is going to be back. Kyle Phillips has got to prove it, in my opinion. He's got to go out there and really show that, one, he can stay healthy, and two, he can make a play and not make mistakes, because we've really seen it for one game in his career.
Right. That's it. Was that the Giants game last year?
Yeah.
I think that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah, and then he got hurt the next week against Buffalo. But, yeah, I mean, I want to see Nick Westbrook-Akina and Chris Moore continue to be involved. I mean, I think they should involve Chris Moore even more in the offense. And then Chig-Okonkwo. I mean, what is Chig-Okonkwo at this point? I think he's had to help the offensive line some, but still, I want to see more out of him. So certainly have some versatility and some weapons that they can use this weekend against Indianapolis. We'll continue that discussion and also look ahead to the college football weekend. We'll talk to Lee Sterling coming up at 10:30. But right now, your opportunity. Have you ever seen this band?
I saw the TV show. Fish?
Yeah.
With Abe Vigoda? Is that what you're giving away? A chance to meet Abe
Fish
Vigoda?
with a PH.
No, I have not.
A pair of tickets to see Fish coming up on Sunday at Bridgestone Arena. Caller number 5-615-737-1025 will win a pair of tickets to see Fish on Sunday, October 8th at Bridgestone Arena. In fact, you know what, Nick? Let's give away 2 pair. So 2 different winners.
You.
2 different winners to go see Fish at Bridgestone Arena. So caller 4 and 5. We'll take it 615-737-1025. That's the kind of mood I'm in.
I like it.
And I'm the suit, and I can do that.
I like and people. I don't know any of their songs, but people love them, and good for you guys.
Fun jam band for sure.
Love it.
We'll come back with more. Also want to tell you about our college football game of the week on 94.9 The Fan tomorrow at 2:30. A big one. Alabama taking on Texas A&M, presented by Twin Peaks. Was that good?
That's not bad.
Was it good, Eli?
Yeah, that's not bad.
Take your tailgate to Twin Peaks for scenic views of all the hottest college football games across the country and home to the 29-degree beer. Chasing Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
Every Wednesday at 8:30. Join Robbie and Rex Road for The Choice is Yours.
2 sports questions, 2 non-sports questions.
They'll answer a couple of questions about life and sports. The Choice is Yours is built by Jarrett Companies. You have a choice. So when you have a need for site and utility work, fire protection, concrete and asphalt services, the choice is simple. It's Jarrett Companies. For more, visit JarrettCompaniesInc.com. The Choice is Yours. Wednesdays at 8:30 on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Family Leisure invites you to relax at home this fall with all our indoor products on sale now.
Enjoy the movie theater experience with theater seating from Family Leisure. 3-piece sets start at only $9.99. Massage chairs are only $14.99 as well.
30 pool tables on display. Hundreds in stock for immediate delivery. Pool tables start at $14.99 install.
Family Leisure has above-ground pools ready for immediate installation.
Outdoor and wicker furniture. Huge selection still in stock.
Family Leisure's Relax at Home sale.
Antioch and Franklin.
There are ordinary hotels, and there's the Four Seasons. There are ordinary cars, and there's the Rolls-Royce. There are ordinary handbags, and there's Gucci. There are ordinary engagement rings, and there's Genesis. A Genesis diamond ring is unlike any other. Artistic, innovative design, handcrafted precision, exceptional detail and quality. This is why people who work at other jewelers come to Genesis for their rings. A Genesis ring is considered the gold standard in bridal, with no compromises, no cut corners, nothing short of perfection. We have the look, the style every woman dreams about. At Genesis, you'll find dozens of exclusive world-class bridal designers who are revered for their attention to detail, exceptional vision, and superior craftsmanship. A Genesis ring rises to the occasion, reflecting her style, her unique personality, her confidence, her individuality. In a world filled with ordinary, for this moment, choose extraordinary. Choose Genesis. Genesis Diamonds, Green Hills, and Cool Springs.
Attention all fire protection, commercial plumbing, and HVAC experts. Jarrett Companies are looking for experienced field technicians like you. Tired of working for your large corporate employer? Work for a company where you're more than just a number. Jarrett's Fire Protection, commercial plumbing, and HVAC divisions are owned and operated by Nashville natives who want you to grow with their amazing team.
Hi, I'm Jason Jarrett, owner of Jarrett Companies. I'm looking to hire experienced experts and will offer a sign-on bonus of up to $5,000 for certified professionals. In addition to our great benefits that include a 401k match, PTO, and top pay with annual bonuses, we'll also provide you with top-of-the-line tools, trucks, and equipment that you need to grow your career. Our customer base is large and our business is booming with many opportunities for advancement. Give us a call or go online to JarrettCompaniesInc.com and apply today to become a member of our family and protect our community. That's JARRETT CompaniesInc.com. Jarrett Companies, where we are above and beyond industry standards.
It's Raymond and Austin. We're back on All-Star Sports Radio. Celebrating their 30th year, our sportsbook and casino sponsor, BetUS.com, is offering a 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets.
It's called Bet Protect, the perfect offer for crazy plays, like the famous butt fumble. It's the GOAT of embarrassing plays.
Really, remember when you bet me you could do a live show with a GOAT as your co-host, and he face-kicked you?
Thankfully, I didn't take the under on that one.
Anyway, folks, get Bet Protect today. The industry's biggest 125% sign-up bonus plus up to 30 risk-free bets. BetUS.com, where the game begins.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Vanderbilt football lives here.
This Saturday, it's Vanderbilt and Florida from Gainesville. Kickoff at 3 p.m. Coverage starts at 1:30.
Your home for the Commodores is 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app. You're listening to the Chase and Big Joe Show.
Does your father know you're working here?
It was his idea.
In that case, I'll have a whiskey sour.
On 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Never seen them in concert?
Twice.
Okay.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
So they came to Bridgestone in November of 17. And
I was at that one.
And so he was notorious for coming on hours late. And somebody said he's turned a leaf. Axl, now he starts a show at 7. I'm like, yeah, sure he does. I show up at 8. And
They're halfway through.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm like, what's going on? Like, yeah, they start at 7. They try to be done by 9. I'm like, what Guns N' Roses hell have I walked into now? They're supposed to play at 9 till midnight and destroy the stage.
So I went with Darren and then Marshall. Remember Marshall who worked here? And we got the stage times, and it was like they're hitting the stage at like 7:02 or something like that.
Right.
And we kind of had the same attitude, but we were already there. So like, oh, let's walk in 7:02. Bam, they're on the stage.
Unbelievable. I was like, what's going on here? I learned my lesson.
Was Paradise City there's like I've heard, I don't know if there's any truth to it at all that Paradise City was about Nashville.
No. Surely not.
I would think not. I mean, I think it's just. I mean, it was
probably
drug induced.
Did he say that on the? I bet he says it everywhere. Like, hello, Springton. This is about.
Hello, Springfield.
This is about your town here. No, it can't be.
Yeah, I don't know. I laugh every time I hear a band, say whatever city they're in The Simpsons, the Flaming Moe episode where Aerosmith and Steven Tyler goes, "Hello, St. Louis."
Yeah, right.
Springfield. Springfield.
There's the one with Spinal Tap, and they're like, "Hello, Springton."
Yeah.
And he turns his guitar over. He's like, "Oh, Springfield. That's where we are." Oh, yes.
That's
I learned my lesson there. Didn't Madonna? I think Madonna came here and she didn't start her concert like 11 o'clock on a Monday night.
Yeah.
I'd be furious.
And now she's canceled her one that she was going to have in December.
I was thinking about the other day, what would happen like if Michael Jackson was touring today? I mean, he would be as nostalgic as we are now. I mean, it would be Whitney Houston, George Michael. I mean, all these people. Prince still touring? I mean, it would be.
Well, Prince was supposed to, when he died, he was doing like these surprise pop-up shows and like within 48 hours of the actual date. And he was supposed to do one here, like right when he died.
Oh, man. Elvis would have been 88. I mean, still could have performed. I mean, who knows?
I think about groups that are artists that I didn't get to see because of they died. I would have loved to have seen Elvis. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I grew up on Elvis because my grandmother loved him. Freddie Mercury would have loved to have seen Queen.
Yep.
I know Queen still tours, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Because it's not Freddie Mercury. Prince and Michael would probably be towards the top of the list. Like I'd probably go Elvis, Michael, Prince if I had to rank.
Okay.
I'd love to see Led Zeppelin, with John Bonham.
Sure.
It just.
Well, he
Nirvana.
He passed away at 29 years old, but Hank Sr., if he lived to be 70 or 80, he would have played into 2000. You could sit all day, and these are great to think about what would have happened to see something like that. There's no way he'd have lived.
Have you ever seen Hank Jr. in concert?
Fantastic.
He's awesome.
Yes, he is.
Because when I saw
Shout
him,
out to Paris, Tennessee. He's listening right now.
Yeah. So that was the last show I went to at Starwood.
Hank Jr. show?
It was Hank Jr. Montgomery Gentry opened for him.
Oh, man.
So, that's another one that you'll never see again. But
Nope.
but Hank did this. I vividly remember. And what was crazy? I had 4 tickets that I had won. Nobody wanted to go. So I went by myself. I'm like, all right, fine. I'm going to go see Hank Jr.
Was this 05, 06?
06. I was a freshman in college. And I lived in Murfreesboro, so Starwood was not far.
Hold on, pause. You need to tell this story where you brought people with you because now I feel bad. Now I'm thinking I feel bad for you. So from now on, tell the story like I got some buddies we went to this. So this.
It was early. It was early in my college tenure, so I didn't have a ton of friends yet. Had a few, but they didn't want to go.
But they went to the show. The story's going forward. All right, so he went to the show.
So I went, and he did this part of the set where there were 4 faces that popped up on the stage. His father, Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, and
Jared Stillman.
Merle Haggard.
Oh yeah.
And so he paid tribute to all those people. And the craziest, he's obviously saved his dad for last, and he sounded just like him. Like that was the crazy part. Like he played Your Cheating Heart, and he sounded just like him.
Did he sing There's a Tear?
He did. Well, yeah, that ended it. But,
that'd been fantastic.
He did Jerry, so he's like telling the story of when he met Jerry Lee Lewis. And he was like, I was like 4 or 5 years old. Dad had already passed. And, I was kind of trying to find direction. And so Mom had me playing music. And, he's like, Jerry Lee comes in and is like, oh, Miss Audrey, the boy just needs to learn how to play the piano. And, Jerry Lee taught him how to play. And he played just like Jerry Lee, was getting up on it. And
wow.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
And Johnny Cash, he'd, go down real deep.
That's cool.
So it was like one of those things that I'll never forget because of just how well he could do it.
Hey, Dr. Crane, I know you're busy about that. Can you find the Monday Night Football theme with Hank Jr. And play it real quick? And the reason I do that,
he did that too,
is because in the book, I forget what book was written about the 49ers, Ronnie Lott would play this song in his locker when they had Monday Night Football games. And everybody was afraid to get around Ronnie Lott because he's insane, for one thing. And he's one of the best safeties of all time. But he was getting into game mode hours before playing the Monday Night Football theme. And people in the 49ers locker room just stay away from him. Let him do his thing. He's already in his game mode. And that would have been so cool to be in that locker room and see Ronnie Lott playing the Monday Night Football theme going crazy.
So he did – This was at the end of Monday Night Football on ABC. So it was going into the first season on ESPN. And there were rumors, was he still going to do it? Was he going to be a part of it, or were they getting rid of him? And so at this concert, he said, I know there are a lot of questions out there if I'm going to do a particular song anymore. And everybody's like, yeah. And he goes, so I just got one question to ask everybody. And then the piano hits, and he goes into the chorus, and then he transitions that into All My Rowdy Friends.
Yeah. Did you find it, Nick? Dr. Crane? I mean, come on.
This is iconic.
Well, it's Monday night and we're ready to rock. Time to catch all the hits, the bangs, and the flops. It's the season finale coming at you here. Special delivery for a holiday cheer. We gotta get ready. We gotta get right. Minnesota and San Fran wrap it up tonight.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So you remember the Christmas night Titans Cowboys?
Yep, 2000.
Yep. And I was so mad at my dad because he didn't take me because it was 0 and I had been sick. My mom was like, he can't go.
That's a Keith Bullock pick 6 in that game.
That was Mr. Monday Night. Well, it wasn't Mr. But that was like the early days of him becoming Mr. Monday Night.
Who was that terrible Cowboys quarterback that played for the Ravens? He went to South Carolina.
Anthony Wright?
Yes, I think so. And he was wrong on that pass.
Oh, JoJo.
Keith took it in the end zone. Yeah, that was
Was that Keith? I think that was his first interception
2000.
on Monday night.
Well, that was his first year. Yeah,
he was a rookie.
Yep.
Was it New Orleans that was the birth of Mr. Monday Night?
That's right. He was all over like 3 interceptions that night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drew Brees had no plan for him. He was just threw the ball right to him. He's in the right place at the right time all night long. So it was fantastic.
Oh, it was awesome.
It was good times back then.
But Hank Jr., I mean, it was you tuned in every week. And it was brilliant by ABC to get him to do that because they knew you were going to tune in at the very start because everybody wanted to hear Hank.
Yeah, it was. And just especially in the 90s when it was really in the prime of all that stuff, it was just fantastic to hear all the
I have a recording
Hank
of
Jr.
I think it's the original version because he's talking about Frank and Al and Dan, like, that crew.
Yeah.
He would always shout them out. And I used to I had it dubbed perfect where it would like that song would end and then the Monday Night Football theme would hit, and it's like as a kid I would pretend like that I was calling the game.
Oh, well done.
That was the early days of me wanting to get into broadcasting.
Yeah, I mean it was Monday Night Football when me growing up with Frank Gifford and Don Meredith and Howard Cosell. I remember my mom let me stay up on Monday night. I usually had to go to bed like at 8, which just blows my mind now. But I get to stay up and watch the games on Monday night and just with those guys and hear the theme and all that stuff. I mean, it was prime. It was great watching that back in the day.
What was the first Monday Night Football here? First Monday Night Football game here?
Was it
the Cowboys?
Steelers?
No. It was
the first year.
It was the. Was it the Jags and Titans in 2000? I worked that game.
I thought they would have I thought they would have had one in '99.
No, they were terrible because remember they set the schedule the year before, and I don't think there was a home game in '99 if I remember correctly. I know it was a Jags game in 2000.
They had a Thursday game against the Raiders in '99, but yeah, everything else was Sunday night.
Was that 2000? I'm not looking right now.
I'm looking right now. Hang on.
I think
2000.
Jags.
Monday, October 16th against the Jags.
So a quick story.
And then 2 weeks later, they were at the Redskins.
So I freelanced I was at Channel 2 at the time. I freelanced for the network to do that. And so I got to hear the director call the Monday Night Football game. Let's just say I heard curse words that night I never heard before in my life.
It was one of those.
And it was, something I don't think I've ever recovered from. And they said it's every week that the director of Monday Night Football would just, it's intense and it's pressure and it's going on. And so I remember it vividly because that was the first game, Jags and Titans in October of 2000. Titans won that game, right?
Yeah, that year they played 3 Monday night games that year.
Buffalo was a Sunday night game.
No,
I think
they beat Jacksonville 27-13 here. They went to Washington and beat the Redskins 27-21 and then destroyed the Cowboys on Christmas night 31-0.
That's Samari Rolle had that interception against the Redskins up there and ran it back. Yeah, that was that 2000 team. Good Lord.
That 2000 team, they should have won.
Oh.
And they started 0-1, losing to Buffalo in the rematch of the Miracle game.
And Mike Rohn, the tight end, blew his knee out in an awful injury and never played again.
Do you remember week 2? because they were almost 0-2.
Was that the Chiefs game?
Yep, overtime.
Is that when McNair got the sternum hit and then Neal came in? Yeah,
Yep,
I think Neal.
Because in the next week against Pittsburgh, at Pittsburgh, Steve had to come in and win it, right?
Yeah, Steve was rolling out in the Week 2 game, and Neal Smith just planted McNair, and then Neal O'Donnell had to come in.
Or was it? Or no, Neal played the next week, and then it was the Giants game here that Steve had to come in.
Maybe. That's year the Giants won the Super Bowl, too, with Strahan and all those guys in 2000.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly.
But I can, Chaser.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. This trip down memory lane brought to you by Big Joe Dubin. We'll talk to Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, get his thoughts on the games this weekend. We'll do that next. Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
They combine hard-hitting journalism.
The Titans asked Kevin Byard to take a pay cut.
Strong-willed opinions.
There's hot takes and then there's like weird takes. Yeah. This is a weird take.
And sometimes some old man takes.
I'm excited about it. So do I gyrate embarrassingly?
To create the perfect morning show, they are Robbie and Rex Road. Mornings from 6 to 9. Presented by TJ Anderson Homes of Benchmark Realty on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Are you drowning in credit card debt? Want to get cash out of your home's equity? Loan Pronto can do it now in less than a week. Hey, Willie Donick here. That's right. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit just got even faster. You can get $50,000, $100,000, even $200,000 in as little as 5 days. You don't even have to touch your primary mortgage. You can keep that 3% rate intact. Get just the money you need and pay off all those credit cards or get that home improvement project started. With this revolutionary program, you can access up to 90% of your home's value, and in most cases, there's no appraisal. Stop paying insane interest rates to the credit card companies and get tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash in as little as 5 days. Call Loan Pronto now for the even faster Equity Express line. 615-499-5780. That's 615-499-5780 or go to loanpronto.com. 615-499-5780. Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, if you missed our show, you can get it on demand. Just search for the Chase and Big Joe Show podcast on Apple, Spotify, or any podcast platform.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Got a full slate of games coming up this weekend in both college and NFL. And to help us more with that, we say hello to Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. He joins us every week. Lee, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, real good slate of college and NFL this week. So it's not just one or the other. So let's get after it.
Is there an upset brewing? Georgia, minus 14.5 against Kentucky.
Okay, so here's what's interesting. I think a lot of people are going to be on Kentucky, and here's why. They're going to look at the stats, and they're going to say, wow, okay, Georgia gave up 219 yards on the ground on just 43 carries to Auburn. But remember this, 125 of those yards were by the two quarterbacks, Peyton Thorne and Robbie Ashford. Kentucky ran for 329 on Florida, 280 by running back Ray Davis, but that's more of a downhill running game. Kentucky does not get their quarterback involved. Devin Leary, not a running threat at all. It just doesn't look comfortable. 9 for 20 for only 69 yards passing. last week. I expect Bulldogs wide receiver Ladd McConkey in his second game back. A lot of people will play key players in their first game back. Wait until the second game. That's where it usually pays dividends. He should shine here in Kentucky. They've scored under double digits in 3 of the last 6 times they played Georgia here. Romper Room special. Georgia, 41-13.
Oh, he likes the Bulldogs big. Okay, this one I think could be a fun one. Alabama takes on Texas A&M. They're at Texas A&M. This line's moved a little bit. Now seen it at Alabama as a road favorite by 1.
Yeah. So Alabama's defense has stepped it up since that loss to Texas, giving up just 30 points in 3 games. A&M's defense, even better. Last 3 games, they've given up only 28 points against some pretty good offenses. Auburn, which is starting to get going, and now Arkansas. Let you take a guess here. How many sacks do you think the Alabama offensive line has given up so far this year? What would you say? 5 games.
1.
No. 20.
Whoa.
20 sacks.
I didn't realize it was that many.
I was going to guess 10 or 12.
Okay.
How about this? 3 of the last 5 years, they haven't given up that number in the entire season. That ranks 125th. That's right, 125th out of 133 teams. On the other side, A&M's defense, number 4 in the country in sacks with 20. Their defensive line has 6 different guys who are 5-stars. I think they're the best unit on the field on Saturday. I think the second best unit is the Texas A&M receivers. I think they have 3 guys who will be playing the next level. I don't think any of the Alabama receivers are going to be making it or high draft picks. And I love Max Johnson's experience here in the game. A&M won at home in 2021, and they're 3-0-1 against the spread. The last 4 is a home dog. Wrong team favored. Texas A&M outright, 24-20.
That would be big for Jimbo, for sure. All right, now to the NFL. Across the pond in London, the Jags, second week in a row, and they will take on Buffalo. Buffalo, 5.5-point favorite.
I don't know how you buck Buffalo. I know Jacksonville's staying there. They're going to, they won the game last week against Atlanta, but they didn't have to face a dual-threat quarterback. They didn't have to worry about a quarterback throwing the football here. I mean, how good was Josh Allen last week? Threw for 320 yards, 5 touchdowns, completed 84% of his passes. Just watch the Jacksonville offense. Every play, someone makes a mistake. Offensive lineman, receiver runs too shallow of a route here. I'm going to keep riding Buffalo here, 31-21.
And then we got down in Atlanta, the Falcons at -1.5 hosting Houston.
Yeah, so I think Atlanta's going to be one of those teams that's going to be like a zigzag team. They lose a game, then they win a game. Yeah, they don't have much of a passing attack here, but they can run the football. Houston, yeah, I love C.J. Stroud, but they're down 4 starting offensive linemen. Are you kidding me here? I like Atlanta, 27-17.
The one that we're going to be paying attention to here in Nashville, Titans going on the road. They haven't been very good on the road to this point, have been very good at home. I'm seeing them as a 2.5-point favorite against the Colts, but I know that line's also moved.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson could turn out to be a superstar. Right now, he's just a raw rookie here. He is prone to mistakes and inaccurate throws. I think that Tennessee's going to give him some different looks. They'll game plan well for this game. That's what it's all about, experience here versus a rookie quarterback. He's going to make a few plays, but I think they're going to get 2 or more turnovers here. Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and DeAndre Hopkins. I think they have enough left in the tank here going against an Indianapolis defense here that ranks in the bottom 5 in total yards and passing yards here. Tennessee's the right side here, 28-20.
We like hearing that here in Nashville. And then your free play, if they call you, LSU, -6.5 against Missouri.
How big is this game? I mean, undefeated Missouri at home. Can they get it done against LSU? LSU's been back and forth. You want to get this free game? I have a real strong opinion on this game. You want to get it for free? Just be one of the first 10 callers. Call 800-400-9741. First 10 callers, get it for free. 800-400-9741. And how about this? We have now, the last 4 weeks, gone 34-13, 40-18 on the season. Anyone wants to hop on board, go to ParamountSports.com. We don't call it October. We call it Locktober. 4 weeks of games, just $297. Also, UFC is back this weekend. Got 5 selections, $35. Won 4 of the last 5 matches there. And then also baseball playoffs. We're on a 42-20 run since September 1st. You want to get the playoffs through the World Series, just $97. Get it on right now online, ParamountSports.com. Also, a bunch of other free pick videos. Check them out at the website or on TikTok at ParamountSports.com.
Awesome, and it's a great website, very easy to navigate, ParamountSports.com. Lee, appreciate it as always, my friend, and we'll talk next week.
Thanks so much. Take care. Have a great weekend. Be safe.
You too. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com, and he does hits all over the country, just like this one. And again, you can get all those picks at ParamountSports.com.
Do you have a lock, Chaser? Give me a lock.
Ooh, a lock for this weekend.
Give me a lock.
College or pro, or do you care?
I don't care. Give me a lock. Let the people want to hear from the suit. Give them a lock.
Okay, all right, I will give you my lock. My lock is this: Boomer Sooner.
Ooh.
I like Oklahoma plus the 5.5 in the Red River Shootout or rivalry.
Whatever it is.
I got a funny feeling about Oklahoma. I think
obviously a good feeling.
This is Texas beat Alabama. That was a huge win for Texas. And everybody's saying Texas is back, and maybe they are.
Mm-hmm.
But things change in a rivalry game. It doesn't matter how good you are or how, if you're back or not. Because Oklahoma's sitting there going like, oh, okay.
Are you going to bet on this?
I will. I'll thank you.
Cash it out, man. That only scared the hell out of me on that. Thanks, Dr. Crane.
Happy Friday, Joe.
Lord. All right, the Chaser's lock. I like that.
Yep, there you go. Chaser's lock, Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner.
That'll be something else. As they say, that'll the great Tim Brando, who blocked me on Twitter, would say that's the fly in the ointment.
We're going to get him on the show so we can fix that.
No, we're not.
I liked him.
No, we're not.
Why not?
No, he blocked me.
Well, maybe you said something stupid.
Well, he did a tweet one night where it was wrong, and he retweeted it was wrong again. They retweeted it was wrong again. And I said, hey, Tim, I don't have all night. Get it correct. And he went and blocked me.
Okay, that's actually funny.
And he did it. So I was like, all right, whatever's going on here, man. No, I'd be love to get him on. And he won't come on the show. Then you get him on? Tim Brando's
he's come on with me a lot.
I've got nothing wrong with him. I found it funny.
He's always entertaining. So
he blocked me.
The iron was unkind and Tim was unkind.
I didn't do anything. I didn't go off on him or anything. I just said, come on, man. I have all night. Let's get this correct.
The thing is, do you consider yourself a Twitter troll or just
no,
like to have fun?
I have fun. I mean, I'm not here to bash. I don't go and put people down on purpose. No, it's not. That's not fun. Just have fun with them.
615-737-1025. Coming up next, we'll give our final thoughts on the football weekend plus celebrity birthdays. Chase and Big Joe, 1025, 1063, The Game.
He breaks down every game.
The players are still going to be fine.
And knows the ins and outs of the two-tone blue.
They deal with their own position coaches.
He is ESPN NFL Nation Titans reporter Teron Davenport.
It's clear what he's doing.
TD joins every Monday at 1, Thursdays at 3, Friday mornings at 8, and anytime on the Talkin' with TD podcast.
I think that's really cool how he could show both sides.
TD is on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game and the Game Nashville app.
Oh, Charlie's, that's where you find me. That southern flavor got me saying, hey, y'all. Yum, yum, have some fun. Share with the ones you love. Don't you want to roll?
At O'Charlie's, we thought you'd enjoy a little country rock and rolls. The warm, buttery, delicious kind. Served free with every meal. O'Charlie's. Oh, that's good.
Yum, yum, have some fun. Charlie's, born in Nashville, and it shows.
We gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. We are LLS, and when we walk, cancer runs. Find your local event at lightthenight.org.
When it comes to shopping for home and auto insurance, the companies that usually come to mind can only offer one coverage option. So, if you want to compare prices, you're forced to visit multiple websites just to get one quote at a time. but not with Zander Insurance. Zander is a broker that works for you, shopping dozens of top-rated companies to find you the best rates this year and every year so your price stays competitive, keeping your life simple and hassle-free. Compare rates all in one place at Zander.com, or for a more personal touch, call 800-356-1780.
Hustle up, we've got 8 more floors to go before lunch.
Sarusha's window washing business is reaching new heights.
Wipe, and let's roll.
They need more certified cleaners to keep online reviews crystal clear.
Team, I know we're hustling, but watch for streaks. Candace, can you give me a hand over here?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates, and you can schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from the Indeed dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Just a minute, don't hang up. Hey, we want to hear from all of you. Give us a call or text at 615-737-1025.
Hello. You'll have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel.
Our phone line driven by Wilson County Hyundai.
Chase and Big Joe are on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
Chase and Big Joe, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. I am out of love and out of luck. Photograph. I think this is my favorite Def Leppard song.
It's a good song. Came out
love this song.
82 or 83, right in there.
I just love the drums. Drum beat in this.
Kevin Byard's on Good Morning Football. But that's probably taped way earlier, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's
probably
at the
earlier this morning.
Facility in the there's that nice studio they got over there.
Def Leppard is one of those bands that, like, even at this point today, I will tell people if you just want to go have fun and see a really good show, go see Def Leppard.
Although Joe Elliott, the lead singer, is kind of morphed into Dorothy from the Golden Girls.
A little? I haven't noticed that until you said something.
Yeah, it's
but I saw them, I think I've seen them like 5 times now.
Yeah, there. Saw them with you once or twice. Yeah.
I saw them last summer at Nissan with Motley Crue. It was supposed to be with Poison as well, but Bret Michaels got sick and couldn't play. So it was Joan Jett, Def Leppard, and then Motley Crue.
Yeah. I've seen them a bunch. I saw them in '88 during the summer here at Starwood. They were the hottest band, and they're staying at the Sheraton Hotel. A friend of mine called me and said, "Hey, Def Leppard's at Music City Sheraton. Come over right now. You can go see them in the pool." I'm like, I don't want to see a bunch of dudes. And so I go over there, and there was a bunch of dudes and a bunch of women, and they were in the Sheraton Music City pool. I mean, it was nothing going wrong. They're just having a good time. And I was like, God, that's Def Leppard over there.
Yeah.
And so
before we get to celebrity birthdays, high school football tonight. Week 8. Hard to believe, Joe, that the high school football season is winding down. We'll have playoffs here in a few weeks, but some big matchups in our area. We talked to Chris Sanders earlier. They'll host Lipscomb Academy, which is certainly a big one. But definitely just shout out to everybody involved in high school football.
I'll be at Beach tonight, Henry County, Hank Jr.'s hometown. Paris, Tennessee. Henry County's coming to take on Beach, and I'll see you on Fox 17 tonight with Jill Jelenic about 9:30 tonight.
Yeah, Football Frenzy Live. The frenzy is real, for sure, on Fox 17. Real quick, let's get it. You want to get a phone call?
Might as well.
All right. Believe this is this DJ? DJ wants to weigh in on MTSU. What's up, DJ?
Hey, guys. Good talking to you. Joe, I'm blocked by Brando myself.
Are you really?
Yeah, no clue why, but I guess I disagree with him. But, hey, quick story. 98, I went to the Tennessee-Florida State National Championship game, stayed in Vegas. Was at the MGM playing blackjack, went to the bathroom, and I saw Prince and his entourage. Came back to the table and was talking to my buddy, and said, I think I just saw Prince. I think at the time he was the symbol, not Prince anymore. But
right.
And the dealer said, yeah, he's playing at Studio 54. And we were like, man, that'd be awesome to go to. About 30 minutes later, the pit boss drops off 2 tickets. We go to Studio 54 and saw Prince. It was awesome.
Whoa. Oh, that's awesome.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, Joe, I know in your new role with the university, it's probably kind of hard to be overly critical of what you saw the other night in Murfreesboro. But I've seen a lot of MTSU football games, and that was by far the worst half of football I can ever remember. Our offensive line has been an issue for a number of years, and we never address it. Stockton's been there 18 years. I know you hear everybody griping, but something's got to change. I mean, I was out of town. I was in Destin, and I'm pretty sure we had more people at the bar from MTSU watching that game than were in the stadium. They've lost a whole generation of fans because of the mediocrity. But can you just discuss what your thoughts are about MTSU? Great show, and I'll hang up and listen, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, DJ. Appreciate it.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, I watched that second half. They're up 23-7. They got outscored 38-7 in the second half, and I'm not going to say anything new. I mean, I know the coaching staff's not happy. I know the players aren't happy, and I said earlier, Chase, they should very well be 3-3. And at this point, they're 1-5, but they've got a chance to turn things around. They still got 6 games to go. They got to play Louisiana Tech next week, then at Liberty. I mean, there's some winnable games and there's some tough games. So there's still a chance to turn this season around, but I'm sure they're not happy getting outscored 38-7 against Jacksonville State, and Rich Rodriguez wasn't good.
Yeah, and I mean, there were points in that game they had control.
Oh yeah,
and then gave
it could have been them. They dropped a wide open touchdown. It should have been 30-7 at halftime, but we could sit here and do coulda, woulda, shouldas all day long, and they don't do it. Bottom line is the team is 1-5 where it is right now, and they've got. I mean, they played so good at Missouri. They played so good at Missouri, and probably could have beat Missouri that night. It's frustrating, and I'm frustrated. I know the coaching staff's frustrated.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So they'll be back at it next week again, playing this midweek Conference USA schedule, which is kind of a weird one, but they'll play La Tech on Tuesday. So
you can hear it.
Can turn it around. 93.3 Classic Hits starting at 5.
All right, Dr. Crane. All right, time for celebrity birthdays. You ready, Chase, in this week on a good note?
Yeah, I've had a good week. Let's do it.
All right, first birthday is actress Elizabeth Shue. She was in Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Elizabeth Shue, how old is she?
Got a really big shoe. Elizabeth Shue, 62.
56.
60. Chaser. By the way, you want to feel old? The twins that were born in the movie Cocktail would now be 35 years old. You're welcome for that.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm
36, so you know.
Maybe you're the twin.
No,
maybe
just me.
All right, more birthdays here, and I don't know this guy's name. Ian Gruffield. He played Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four movies. I've never heard of this guy in my life. He's familiar, but I've never heard of him.
Like the new movies?
His name is Ioan. How do you pronounce that? Ion? I know, I'm an idiot.
I honestly don't know.
How old's Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four movies?
Those weren't fantastic, but 44?
38?
50.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Actress Britt Eklund. How old is she? She's in a lot of great movies. Don't ask me any.
Like what era?
Around. Era between the 50s and today. I'm not going to give you a clue.
69.
The 50s. Oh, Lord. I'm going to go 74.
81. Lead singer of REO Speedwagon, Kevin Cronin. How old is Kevin Cronin today?
Carry on, my wayward son.
That's Kansas.
Crap, that is Kansas.
You said that so confidently. I was like, what the hell?
74.
I'm going to go 63.
72. Chaser's up 2 now. You're methodical again. You're a little Sonny Gray approach here.
I'm mad at myself.
Country singer Tim Rushlow was the lead singer of Little Texas. Lives here in Nashville.
God bless Texas.
Great song.
I do love that song. 63.
68?
57.
Oh, boy.
Singer Melinda Doolittle. She is from, I think she's from Gallatin. She was on American Idol.
Has she done little since then?
She is.
I'll leave the jokes to you. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're working hard. Carry on, my wayward son. That kind of ended your day.
38.
48?
She is 46.
Okay.
2-1. Dr. Crane back in it there.
Fine. That's a first point in 3 days.
Musician Will Butler of Arcade Fire.
49.
I don't know. This is a tough one. I'm going to go 44.
41, Dr. Crane. You're so close. All right, one more before we get out of here. Let's go. He is the guitar player of Los Lobos, David Hidalgo.
Oh, wow. That's going back.
They're a great band.
59.
I'm going to go 54.
69. And Chaser wins 2-1. Just a good week for you.
I think he got the week sweep.
I think he did.
Yeah.
He sure did.
Thank you. Thank you very
Are
much.
you sure not looking at the anything, Chase?
I'm not. I'm looking at the program grid.
Attaboy.
So I can promote.
There you go.
Things that we have.
What do we got, pal?
Vanderbilt goes down to Florida tomorrow. I'm gonna be. I mean, Florida's not very good, but Vanderbilt not playing well either. I like the Gators.
Florida
at
be
home.
mad. They should be mad.
Yeah, I mean they should be. So, but that we'll see. We'll have coverage starting at 1:30 here on 102.5, 106.3 The Game tomorrow night. Michigan and Minnesota battle out of the Big Ten. You can hear that at 7, and then on 94.9 The Fan at 2:30, as we mentioned, Alabama and Texas A&M could be one of the games of the weekend in college football. So
Let's
you
go,
get a Saturday,
Alabama.
You get a Saturday to watch some college football.
I'm actually going up to Cumberland University. It's homecoming, and I'm going to do a little story about how they play at the University of the Cumberlands, how in the world of football, college football, transfer portals, conference realignment, yada, 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 but there are still places on Saturday where it's just about football.
I love that.
It's kind of fun.
Titans go to Indy. I think they win.
I think they roll.
I'm going to say 28-14.
What I said today, 34.
You said 31.
13.
31-13?
Yep.
And then we also have the game of the weekend in the NFL, Cowboys 49ers Sunday Night Football, that you can hear starting at 6:45. I think that's going to be an awesome game. Dak just needs to not suck.
It's easier said than done, Chaser.
I just need Dak to not suck.
Oh, well.
Derek, I know you're back there. If Dak cannot suck, that would be great. Yeah, he's laughing.
Of course he is.
Yeah, and we'll also have a little NASCAR on our airwaves.
Dak Prescott trivia for you. Ready? When the college football playoff came out in 2014, Mississippi State was the number 1 ranked team. Who was their quarterback? Dak Prescott.
Do you know who they beat to be number 1 that year? The
No.
game?
No.
Auburn.
Huh?
Yeah.
I was there. It was a
Wasn't
Saturday
it,
game.
Was that the year that both Mississippi State and Ole Miss were number 1 at one point?
Because
I think Hugh and Ole Miss had beaten Alabama.
With the guy, Bo, what's his name, from
Bo
Giles County?
Bo Wallace.
Bo Wallace.
Bo Wallace, yeah.
It takes us a while, but our brain comes around.
Caroline's back here. She's
Oh,
the
there you
encyclopedia
go.
of the SEC.
Thank
That
you.
helps. Have a great weekend, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Caroline, Willie, and D-Mace coming up next.
And don't remember, if you're out there and you're struggling, need to talk to somebody, please go talk to somebody. We love you. We want you around. Reach out to Chase or myself. We're here for you. We need you around. Let you guys know that we care about you.
Absolutely. Be safe, be well, and we'll talk to you Monday at 9, 102.5, 106.3, The Game.
ElectronicExpress.com. We make it happen.
October is here, and you know what that means. Nashville's free annual event, October